Shanti Mantra. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. O dear God, protect us both, the one listening to this adhyaya along with the one narrating this chapter. Nourish us both. May we both work together with great positive and divine energy so we can become capable of receiving your wisdom, so we can become sharp and alert while holding no grudge. Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. Shri Ganesh Mantra. Om Mahaganpataye Namaha. Shiv Panchakshara Ghanpat. Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namo Namah Shivaya Cha Cha Shivaya Namo Namah Shivaya Cha Shivaya Cha Cha Shivaya Shivaya Cha. Om Namah Shivaya. Sarva Mangalkari Devi Mantra. Sarva Mangal Mangalye Shive Sarvarth Sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Devi, you bestow upon us all the goodness and ensure our welfare. You are Shiva, the Shakti of the great, the divine Shiv. O Devi, the one with the third eye. O Gauri, you are the one who brings any kind of efforts to its fruit, to its success. You are the Shakti of Narayan. You are Narayani. Today, I bow my head before you. Pratham Adhyaya, first chapter. A very long time ago, Rishi Kashyap and Devi Aditi's sister had a son, Hiranyaksh. From his dynasty was born a fearsome, menacing and horrific Daitya called Durgam. Despite being born as brothers to the Devtas, the tradition of envying, defeating and hating the Devtas was kept alive, in fact even fueled by Durgam. He was driven and determined to finish all of them once and for all. However, this was a difficult task, a tall task. In the past too, several attempts had been made to defeat, to finish the Devtas, but all in vain. So Durgam, intent on achieving success, invested himself heavily on devising a plan, a foolproof plan, to finish all the Devtas once and for all. After a lot of thought, he realized that all the strength, the power and the divinity of the Devtas is sourced from their knowledge of the Ved. He thought that if there was some way to destroy the four Ved, to wipe them out completely, he would then be able to control the Devtas, since then they would have lost all their strength. Pleased with the plan, Durgam at once commenced rolling out this plan. At once he proceeded towards the Himalayas. Determined to please Brahmadev, Durgam now commenced a tough and severe tapasya. He renounced food and water, both, and survived only on air, while remaining focused on his tapasya for several years. The aura, the power that Durgam harnessed with his tapasya now began to scare and worry the Devtas too. But one is bound to receive the fruit of one's karma, one's effort and hard work. be it Dev, Danav, or even a human. Only your karma, your actions will decide your future and what you reap from it. It was now time for Durgam's efforts, his hard work, to pay off. Brahmadev was pleased with Durgam's tapasya. Seated on his vahan, his vehicle, the Hans, a swan, Chaturmukh Brahma, meaning the four-faced Brahmadev, appeared before Durgam and said, Durgam, I am pleased with your tapasya. You may now ask me for a boon, a vardhan of your choice. Durgam had gone through with this tough, severe tapasya to fulfill only one desire, one wish. So he got up from his samadhi, his meditation, bowed down before Brahmadev and said, Dear Lord, the Lord of all those who are blessed with the ability to give a boon, a vardhan to another, I pray that you give me all the Ved, along with all the mantras that every Devta, every Brahman knows. All these mantras must now remain and be known only to me and no one else. Obliged to fulfill what was asked, in order to honor his own words, his own commitment, Brahmadev said, Tathastu, meaning, you will receive what you have asked for. Saying this, Brahmadev disappeared. As soon as he said Tathastu, all the Devtas, the Brahmans of the world, forgot all the Vedic mantras, lost all their knowledge of the Ved. It was literally wiped out from their memory. Resultantly, daily homams, meaning daily havans, evening prayers, shraddh, yajna, jap, meaning chanting of these mantras, everything had suddenly come to a grinding halt. Mantras that are the nad, the sound, the voice and the language of nature, the constant repetition of which keeps this cosmos operational, while infusing it with energy, had suddenly just disappeared. With the prayers coming to a halt, with Brahmins who could no longer chant mantras, with the people focused and capable of doing severe tapasya, forgetting the very base of this tapasya, the mantras, the Devtas began to lose their energies, their powers. This was the exact moment Durgam was waiting for. Seeing the Devtas lose all their powers, seeing their energies getting drained out of them, Durgam launched an attack on the kingdom of the Devtas, a city, a nagari called Amravati. Fully aware that their powers were now depleted and diminishing at an accelerated rate, while noticing the overcharged and powerful Sena, the army of the Daityas led by Durgam, approach them, the Devtas reached the earth and hid themselves in various caves in an attempt to protect and save themselves. Now when all the Devtas had lost their powers, so much so that even the Tridevs, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh were powerless, in such a grim situation, everyone together could only think of one power, the Eka, the supreme power, the source of the entire world and all its energies, the all-powerful, the one who is a mother to all goodness and the destroyer of all evil, the Shakti, the power and energy of Shiv, Shiva, the power of Narayan, Narayani. She is Bhagavati, she is Amba. Every being now turned to Ambika to seek shelter, to seek protection, to seek justice. Dayam Kuru Maheshani, Pamareshu Janeshu hi, meaning, O Maheshwari, be kind to us, watch over us, as we are now helpless. Prasid Tvam Maheshani, Prasid Jagdambike, Anant Koti, Brahmandinayika Te Namo Namaha. O Maheshwari, may you be pleased. O Jagdambike, may you be pleased. The Swamini, the Lord of the infinite Brahman, the universe, I bow my head before you. Sharanagat Dinarth Paritran Parayane Sarvasyatihar Devi Narayani Namostute. The protector of all the helpless and pained souls that come to you for refuge, the Narayani who rids us of all our pains and sorrows, we bow our heads before you. Dehi Saubhagyam Rogyam Dehi Me Param Sukham Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi Yasho Dehi Dvisho Jahi. Meaning, the one who blesses us with good fortune and good health, bless me with the divine form, with supreme happiness, with victory, with success, and rid me of all my enemies, enemies both within and beyond me. Now, while on the one hand, all the gods continued to call upon, remember and pray to Ma Amba, on the other hand, with no yagyas happening the world over, with no havan, no chanting of mantras, with no energy being created to keep the universe operational, the rains had stopped. Due to the lack of rains, every corner of earth was drying up. The rivers, the lakes, the wells, all of it was drying up. Now, because all the sources of water were drying up, the jungles, the crops, the medicinal herbs, everything was dying. The animals, the birds, the people too started perishing, started dying. With destruction everywhere, the world as we know it was now surrounded by a pandemic. There was literally no ray of hope left. Nowhere to go, no one else to turn to. At such a point, answering the prayers of all the devtas and all the beings, Mata Bhagavati, Mata Maheshwari, took her enormous, colossal and divine form, a roop with 100 eyes, capable of covering all directions, appeared before them all. Her beautiful and graceful face, adorned with 100 eyes, looked as rare, as divine as a blue lotus. Her radiance illuminated the skies, making them brighter than 100 suns put together. In her divine hands, she held several blessings, a quiver of arrows, a gigantic bow, a lotus, many fruits that had divine nectar, along with their seeds, several medicinal herbs with their roots, a plethora of lush green shrubs, herbs, plants and trees, and a range of shak, meaning vegetables. Although the sight of Mata Bhagavati was a huge sigh of relief for all her devotees, a ray of hope, a promise that times would now change, and change for the better. For Mata Bhagavati, this was a heart-breaking, a heart-wrenching sight. Seeing her devotees in such pain and so helpless, seeing death and destruction caused by the lack of food and water in every direction, tears began to roll down from each one of her 100 eyes like streams of water. Bhagavati continued to shed tears of compassion, of empathy for the next 9 nights. A phenomenal, astounding, breathtakingly divine and rare sight. All the devtas who were once hidden inside various caves stepped out to witness this miraculous, prodigious and sublime sight. While they stood there watching in awe, they continued to pray before her divine presence. Asmachantyarthmatulam Lochananam sahastrakam tvaya yato dhritam Devi shatakshi tvam tato bhava. Dear Devi, for the sake of our peace, you have taken this roop, this form, adorned with 100 eyes. Hence, from here on, you will be known to all of us as Shatakshi. Kripam Kuru Maheshani Vedan Pyahar Ambike. O Maheshwari, O Ambike, bestow upon us your kindness and give back to us the knowledge of our Ved. At this point, all the divine blessings that Devi carried with her were handed over to the people by her. The fruits filled with their divine nectar, the unique variety of medicinal herbs, along with their roots, the lush green plants, herbs, bushes and trees, the vegetables, the shark, along with their seeds, were given to all the Devs, Brahmans and all the other beings, thereby infusing them with a new life. The flow of the water now quenched the thirsty parched lands, making them fertile, ideal to hold the new seeds and provide fresh fruits, crops and vegetables. Because of this blessing, Devi was given yet another name. She was hence called Shakambhari. After rescuing everyone's lives, it was now turn for Devi to make Durgam pay the price of his kukarm, his bad deeds. Armed with several weapons, Devi marched towards Durgam with a loud roar, challenging him to battle with her. On the other hand, Durgam too, along with his army of thousands of Daityas, marched forward, slaying several rishis and munis while en route to battle with Devi. At once Devi conjured up a protective shield, protecting the Devtas along with all the people from all directions. Having created this protective shield, this force field for everyone's safety and security, she herself stepped out of it. Thereafter, an intense battle commenced between Durgam and Devi. Divine arrows released from both ends lined the skies. While Devi continued to charge and attack Durgam, she simultaneously also slayed hundreds of Daityas, thereby weakening the strength and the morale of the Daityas who fought from the Sena of the Daityas. She was unstoppable. It seemed that her rage, her agility, her energy and aura was exploding out of her, multiplying by the second. Finally, in order to put an end to this battle, she let out several shaktis, several energies from within her. They all appeared in the form of Kalika, Tripura, Bagla, Bhairavi, Kamakshi, Tarani, Rama, Matangi, Tulaja, and several other Devis. In the final days of this battle, the skies echoed with the sounds of several mridangs and conches. Within 10 days, Durgam's entire Sena, his entire army, was wiped out. Once the entire army was wiped out, all the energies, the forms of Shakti that were released from Devi, now returned to their source, meaning they were now once again enveloped within her, following which Devi released 5 sharp, energy-laden divine arrows, one after another, at Durgam, as a result of which, on the 11th day, this horrific, menacing Danav Durgam fell to the ground and took his last breath. When he took his last breath, a ball of energy, of bright light, was released from his body, which then settled itself within our mighty and glorious Devi. All the Devtas, Rishis, Munis, Brahmins and all other beings, Brahma, Sri Hari Vishnu and Mahadev Shiv, were now exhilarated and rejoicing while praying and giving thanks to Devi. With this event, the giver of joy, the one who rids us of our sorrows, pains and miseries, the one who destroys our enemies, this Devi was given yet another name, Durga. The first Devi of Navratri, Shailputri, who is the daughter of the Himalayas from which the divine and pure waters of the Ganges flow, the Himalayas that is the source of several medicinal herbs and the origin of a variety of flora. To that source, Shakambhari, I bow my head in reverence. Ya Devi sarva bhuteshu, Kshudha rupena samsthita, Namastasyai, 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 Namo Namaha. Ya Devi sarva bhuteshu, Trishna rupena samsthita, Namastasyai, 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 Namo Namaha. To the Devi that resides in us all, in the form of Kshudha, meaning hunger, in the form of desire, before you, O Devi, I bow my head time and time again.